Hey everybody, we're back again with another countdown video. Before this one starts, I would just like to tell you guys thank you for all your continued support on this series, and that we're super close to 400 subscribers, so that's awesome. I really do enjoy making these videos for you guys to watch. In this countdown, we're going to be counting down the top 5 PKers of all time. Most of these PKers were popular back in the years of 2003 to 2007. There are a lot of amazing player killers out there today in the version of RS3 and as well as OSRS, but I wanted to cover the PKers that started it all in this video. Number 5. Tanksta, aka Strengths. Little is known about this PKer, but he was surely one of the best I ever saw back then. He was always seen in the wilderness with his signature fire cape and bandana that he wore. Most often he would rush in with his special attacks, whereas most people would save them. He was definitely a risker for this. He used a D skim all the time instead of a whip, even though he had the attack level requirement to use one. He also was seen before risking a white party hat, a green one, and a blue one, and much of other colors and rares. He was also an incredible staker, which led to him eventually having maximum cash. He was later banned for some unknown reason. Maybe he was just too rich. In his video, he doesn't seem to care that he was banned on strengths, even with all that money. So he just went back to Tanksta after having that account unbanned after being banned on it as well. I'll leave a video link in the description of his highlights. They're quite impressive. Number 4. Bloodhound 34. This PKer began playing in 2005 and was known for his popular PKing video compilations on YouTube from back in the day. He was level 95 combat back then, having 70 attack, 70 strength, 76 defense, 99 range, and 99 mage. This is a pretty cool but odd combination of stats for a PKer. But it didn't faze him. He was seen mostly always wearing blue Mystics robes and stayed in more of the deeper parts of the wilderness. His YouTube channel is still up and running today, though he rarely makes videos on it, and you can find a link to it in the description. Number 3. Elf Mage. If you're a true veteran of RuneScape, then you know who this is already. He was popular along with Kids Range, JoJo 3000, and I Mahatma I, some of the most well-known PKers during 2004 and the 2007 era. On the 14th of February in 2007, Jagex muted Elf Mage for using YouTube videos to lure people to the wilderness. This literally led to a 14-hour-long riot occurring on World 28. Elf Mage often wore Mystic clothing in combat and was an expert ranger and major. One of his forms of PKing was barraging his opponents and then finishing them off with a magic short bow, and he was also popular for using god spells, especially Saradomin Strike. Some people even speculate that many of Elf Mage's victims in his PK videos were actually victims of lures done by him, thus being why they were always filmed in deep wilderness, which is actually quite scary when you think about it. Jagex later banned Elf Mage sometime after his mute in 2007. No one knows whatever happened to him. Number 2. Kids Range. Starting his account in 2005, he was best known for his max combat stats and 1 defense. He made his first PK video in 2007 under the YouTube username SV3RIGE. I wanted to spell it out because I didn't really know how to pronounce it. Kids Range made 10 PK videos before he was hacked for the first time in May of 2006, almost convincing him to quit, but fans stepped up in response and offered him donations in order to keep PKing and making videos. Sometime during his 15th PK video, a friend of Kids Range found a box where he had stored his account details in real life. This was later linked to the internet, and hundreds of people attempted to steal his account. The account was eventually locked in 2008, and Kids Range later clarified that his account was gone forever. Some of Kids Range videos have over 6 million views today. Kids Range later quit in 2009 permanently, stating that video games were simply a waste of time. Number 1. I Mahatma I. Back then, just seeing this guy in the wilderness, even if he couldn't fight you, struck fear into you right away. Some say he was the inspiration for I Kasoi I to put eyes before and after his name, along with a lot of PKers who do this still today. his gear usually being monk robes, a whip, and a DDS, but he rarely used the DDS because at the time, whip's special attacks were actually super overpowered. He also abused a glitch with magic, casting the charge spell a lot. Back then there was no limit to how many times you could actually cast it, thus earning millions of XP in just an hour or so. He began playing RuneScape around 2001, and his first account was actually not a pure but just a regular noob. When RS2 came out, him and friends who would PK in free-to-play worlds eventually created an extremely famous PKing clan known as the Mayhem Makers. iMahatmaI states that, and I quote, "I trained strength to 99, started making videos, and the rest is history." He also said that he plays RuneScape still today, but only for clan events, concluding that if he didn't have his clan, he would have quit a long time ago. It was rarely seen that iMahatmaI would lose a fight against anybody he went up against, and I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to fight him either. That's it for this countdown, and if you know what I should be counting down next, please leave it in the comments section, and please destroy that like button.